Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. All right, it's my buddy Nick Wright. We're going to chop it up for an hour. This is going to be fun. We disagree strongly on a couple of things. I think he's going to like one of my comps today, but let's just start talking about me and Tom Brady.
Yes.
Let's just start.
Can you know what? Can we? I have a confession to make, and then you do whatever you want to do. I did something wholly unprofessional today. The guy that under the guise of complimenting and congratulating my friend, which is the moment Colin's show went to break, when I knew for a fact he was within arm's distance of Tom Brady. And I assumed all of our bosses. I made the most opportunistic FaceTime call of my life, which was I FaceTimed Colin because I knew he was with Brady, and I'm like, this might be my best chance, just because if I'm being honest, you said you had a few cameos in one of Brady's documentaries. I damn near deserve royalties for how often I was featured in saying, oh, the end is nigh, and then he'd win a championship. And so I was hoping to maybe be like, hi, Tom, would love to have you on the show sometime, but either way, glad you're a teammate. And Colin graciously answered the call while he was basking in the afterglow of 30 minutes with Tom, but I didn't get that chance. But now go ahead, Ned. I've made that confession. Go ahead and say what your day was like.
Well, it was funny because, I've said before, the only time, not that I got nervous, but when I was doing Barack Obama twice, I came in really prepared. Like if he threw me a curveball, even political, like I prepped for that for 2 days. And with Brady, I didn't feel I had to, but I knew the bosses would be watching. So the day starts, and all of a sudden I'm seeing management all over the studio. I'm like, guys, I got this. Don't forget to do. And remember, and I'm like, I started laughing at him. I'm like, you guys come down here for one reason. You're firing me, or I've got like somebody important on.
Yeah.
I've been doing this 30 years. I'm good. It's Tom Brady. Tommy talks. We're all good.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch, because Brady's important for the company, and it's a big move. He's Tom Brady. It's Fox. It's the NFL. Greg Olsen was terrific, so you want to make sure he's good. I think they'll both be great. But there's just a lot of things going on here, so it was kind of a funny, strangely tense day. But the great part about it is Tom, for all that hovers around him, is just about as normal as you're going to get. Jeans, tennis shoes. Just comes in. He's like, hey, it's great to meet you. Just Tom's like a nice guy. He really, you know how you've met people before and you think, well, they must have had good parents, right?
Sure.
Like you can tell he's just very, very grounded. I mean, everywhere Tom goes, people are reaching at him, and he just couldn't be more normal and nice.
So my experience with the interview is obviously exponentially different than yours. You're doing it. I'm watching it. But my takeaway was different. And I think that you and I both have enough credibility with the audience built up to know, like, we're not shills for anybody. We're going to be honest about what we think. But I found myself, edge of my seat is probably a touch too strong, but leaning in to every time he was even coming close to breaking down how he thought about football. And it made me really excited for how he's going to call games. Because there is this school of thought, and Tom said it in a kind way, but a lot of people there is a school of thought among some people that think the play-by-play and the color commentator is almost an overstated importance job because people are watching the game. People want to see the game. And I understand that in a lot of instances. In a lot of instances, I think it doesn't matter who's calling the game. We're watching the game. But I found myself just in this interview being like, oh, I really want to learn about how he processed and how his mind works when it comes to playing the quarterback position, and the stuff he was saying about how he would react to a different defensive look and the pregame prep that it took, all of that. And it made me super excited to hear him in real time, to watch a football game and get to see, because and now I'm going to be self-important. You're going to laugh at me. I think I am an elite football watcher. And by that, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I am top 1% in the world at watching a game and noticing things like, oh,
Yeah.
I think that guy might have just tweaked something. Oh, I think they misspotted all of it.
Yeah.
And to be able to watch a game that Tom's watching and commenting on, and see how many times, like, what he said, like, oh, I was thinking something similar, or oh, I had that wrong. I'm really excited for it. Like, I do think it is it is having, we had Magic Johnson call NBA games, but it wasn't really his strength. Like, having someone like that. And I'm going to add one other thing. I also think a uniqueness of it is so much of his superpower was his processing. So
right.
It's less about, I was able to do it because, like, I'll use Terry. I know Terry doesn't call games. Anyone that's ever been in a room with Terry Bradshaw, it's like, oh, a lot of the reason you're Terry Bradshaw is because, I don't know how old he is, but even at this age, you could kick everybody's ass in this room except for Howie Long. Like, you are a big, strong, but so much of Tom is, I out prepared. So that came across in the 30 minutes you spent with him. I was worried you were going to take the interview into the first hour, first things first. I didn't think you were ever going to break. I was like, we might not be on the air today, boys.
Yeah, no, it's I kind of feel like this sounds weird, but every time I interview Tom, I feel it's a chapter. So I tried to stay today, because I'm going to interview him several more times. I tried to stay in his I talked a lot about process today, about broadcasting, number one receivers, offensive line. So I wanted him to talk about process today. As the season comes upon us, it'll be more about the game, the moment. But I like today, all I thought about was, I want to introduce Tom, how he thinks to the audience. This is a process day, and he just tends to be the best processed athlete we've ever had.
Yeah.
So